Buongiorno everyone, welcome back to the Magpie Channel TV. Christmas settings, chilled out Christmas, cozy vibes. On this Thursday afternoon, I'm bringing you some transfer news. 1 month from now, the window opens again already. The madness will kick off the January transfer window. It is December 1st now. January 1st, the transfer window will open. And we're getting a lot of questions about this. And then when I was at NX Newcastle the other night as well for the England game, loads were asking us this when I came up to this. Keith Downey asked me on stage if I could sign anybody in January, who would it be? James Maddison was my answer because that's fresh off the back of the video that's been going around the last 24, 48 hours. If James Maddison, being asked by Josh Denzel on England's YouTube channel about his time at Qatar with the England team. Now, he hasn't made an appearance yet, Maddison, for England. He's just coming back from injury. He was asked about how's he settling in, how's the camp been, how's training. And all he could talk about was Newcastle United. All he could talk about, wouldn't shut up about it. Wouldn't shut up about his new best pals. Talking about hanging around with Popey, Wilson, Trips, a lot of them. That's all he's been doing. You can see in the photos. That's predominantly who he's hanging around with his cliques in the England camp. Maddison's definitely the Newcastle one. Why is the Newcastle one? Now, obviously, there's not many. Is there any Leicester players? Probably not, no. Jamie Vardy's 47. There's not many of any Leicester players. Definitely isn't any. But him, pretty sure. But anyways, he's hanging around with all the Newcastle ones because that's where he's coming, right? That is where he's heading in January. I firmly believe it. I think I'd be more surprised if Maddison didn't sign for Newcastle than did in January. Now, we know back in the summer, we had 2 bids rejected for James Maddison. Up to £45 million was turned down from Leicester City for Maddison because they lost Fofana for big money. They lost a couple of the big players. Schmeichel even went to Nice as well. So, and they had a terrible start to the season. They picked it up now. You know, Brendan Rodgers was tipped for the sack. He got away with it. He's turned it around. He had a good end to the season before the break. But Maddison realises, and Leicester realise, Rodgers realises that they've hit their ceiling now. That's as good as it's going to get for them. Maddison fancies Newcastle. And anyone watching the Premier League now will fancy Newcastle. Remember, do not forget, because it's the international break, that we are sitting 3rd in the Premier League. So it's a very exciting and interesting proposition for other players to join Newcastle at the minute, join this adventure, to join this project. And all signs point to Maddison. So let's watch the video. I'm going to play the video now and give my thoughts on it.
Me, Cal, Trips and Popey have been having a bit of banter.
There's a lot of Newcastle boys here as well.
Yeah, it's 3-on-1 to be fair, with the Newcastle boys. But we've been having a bit of banter and about the Boxing Day game coming up and stuff. And obviously there was a bit of speculation last summer.
So there we have it. He's talking there to Josh Denzel in the England camp about the crack between Wilson, Pope, the Newcastle lad. He says, oh, there's great banter between the Newcastle lot. And the fact that he mentioned the speculation speaks volumes to me. Why would you mention that? Why would he talk about the speculation if he wasn't... You kind of brush it under the carpet. He doesn't brush it under the carpet. He kind of embraces it. He talks about the rumours to Newcastle United last summer. He talks about the ongoing... You know, he says there's speculation, there's still speculation there, and there is. You know what I mean? Newcastle are very heavily linked with James Maddison still this January. It's expected that we will go back in with another bid. Now, there's conflicting reports today. After this video, got a lot of people excited that Maddison was joining Newcastle, apart from Leicester fans. All the Leicester fans are raging, obviously. But then Luke Edwards came out today and said it wouldn't be happening, that Newcastle won't be signing Maddison in January. He doesn't think they'll spend that much money in January. He thinks they will do business, but it won't be massive signings, and obviously Maddison would be a massive signing. Now I'll stop Luke Edwards there because this is the same Luke Edwards that said Newcastle would spend 60 million last summer in total. He got the 60 million right, didn't get the in total bit right, did he? You know what I mean? We spent that on one player, Alexander Isak, so he got that completely wrong. So where's my faith for Luke Edwards? Do you know what I mean? Why would I believe what Luke Edwards has got to say when he got it wrong last summer? I think Newcastle will go all out. When we're sitting in Champions League positions, and if there's a possibility that Maddison could sign, and there is, if the money's there, we could have signed him last summer if the money was there. If we decided to pay the 60 million, whatever Leicester want, there's a chance to sign Maddison. He wants to move. Leicester need the money. It makes sense. Now, Maddison's got 18 months left on his current deal. 18 months left. They're about to lose Tielemans as well because his contract runs out next summer. So it's a very transitional period for Leicester. They need to ship out some players, bring some new players in, but I can see us signing Maddison this January. I really can. Like I said on stage at the NX the other night, I said if I could sign anyone in January, it would be him. Now, it would be obviously changing our system around and how would he fit into it, because we're doing well at the minute and whatnot, but there's no doubt in James Maddison's a serious talent, Premier League proven, absolute baller. I would love to sign him. His goal contributions are up there with the best of anybody. Amongst the top 5 leagues in Europe, his assists, his goals, what he brings to the side. He's absolutely class. I would love to sign him. When you see him saying that, and there's also another clip I couldn't find where Maddison was asked about the Boxing Day game, didn't talk much about it, but he was asked about who's most likely to win the league again between Leicester and Newcastle. And he said, come on, I can't answer that. He said, come on, I can't answer that, because he knows it. He knows the truth. He knows, of course, it's Newcastle. I mean, just need to look at the league table. But, I mean, he said that in terms of the question wasn't just this season, it was when, like, ever. If there was another team to win the Premier League again in the next 5 to 10 years, would it be Newcastle or Leicester? And he said, I cannot answer that, with another cheeky smile, another cheeky grin, because he knows the crack. He knows the score. He knows what he's talking about. He's having a bit of banter with it. He's clearly spending a lot of time with the Newcastle players. So Agent Pope, Agent Wilson, all doing their jobs, as well as Trippier, to hopefully persuade Maddison to come to Newcastle. He probably doesn't need much persuading. He's probably just asking what it's like, giving him glowing reports on the city, the fans, Eddie Howe. So I'd honestly be shocked if Maddison does. Maybe if it's not in January, I think it'll definitely be next summer. But I'm confident it'll be January. I think Newcastle's owners, the league position we're in, obviously we've still got to start quite well when we come back, and one of them games is away at Leicester on Boxing Day. Start the season strong when it kicks off again after the World Cup. Give ourselves every chance of finishing not just top 4, but top 6, top 7, getting some sort of European football. That'll entice players, that'll make our transfer budget more stretchable for me, because I think they'll see the opportunity there and they'll try and snap their hands off, because there's no way. I mean, not us as fans, not Eddie Howe as a coach, I would assume, and definitely not as owners, and Manor Staveley and that, would have thought Newcastle would be in Champions League positions this soon. Now, there's still a long way to go, but what better way of giving yourself a chance of finishing in those positions, or at least Europa League, than signing the likes of James Maddison, than signing players in January. It's got to be done. We've got to strengthen the squad in January. We definitely do. And Maddison will be key to that, and I think he definitely wants to move. That whole banter, the whole flirting with the idea, mentioning speculation, he's dropping hints, and the pictures are dropping hints. There's 20-odd people in that England squad. He's constantly with Wilson, constantly with in and around Pope and Trippier. So, yes, you can see they're just mates, but he's coming, man. I'm telling you, I think he's coming. If I had to put money on it, I would say Maddison definitely more likely to sign for Newcastle than not this January, if not definitely next summer. But Maddison, I think, definitely wants to move as well. Hopefully we'll see him for England at the World Cup at some point, and then more importantly, I really hope to see him at Newcastle in January next year. Less than a month ago now, the transfer window opens. We're not going to go mad on transfer window videos just yet. We do daily transfer videos when the transfer market's open, so that'll be back in January. But for now, we've got some more England stuff coming up this weekend. Remember, NX Newcastle for Sunday's game against Senegal, the round of 16 knockout games. If you haven't seen the vlog from, well, it wasn't a vlog, just clips from the other night against Wales, check it out. That was a class game, class atmosphere at NX. Bouncing, brilliant. Everything was working, so that helps. So hopefully on Sunday, we'll be throwing beers and celebrating yet again as England look to get through to the quarterfinals. Link to those tickets will be in this video description below. Now let me know what you thought of this video. Let us know, do you think James Maddison will be signing for Newcastle next year? Smash that like button, subscribe to my channel TV, and enjoy yourself.